Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm actually going to film my January and February favorites. Just because I was about to go to Ulta and return some stuff that I had bought this month. And I figured I would film why I'm returning these, and then I'll just mix that into my favorites as well. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about my favorites for this month. Alright, so the first thing for my favorites, I actually purchased this in January. This is the Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser Primer. It comes with 0.67 fluid ounces. I think it cost me like $5 or $6. I don't have the receipt for it, but this primer is actually really good. If you like silicone-based primers, if you have big pores or oily skin, this primer is for you. I have a lot of pores right here, and I get oily, especially on my chin, and a little bit on my forehead, not a lot. My skin has become a little bit more normal to oily versus just oily. So in the places where I get oilies, mainly right here, and I just want to smooth out this part of my face because I am putting concealer under there and I don't want it to crease or anything like that. And this primer is perfect for that. I like to put this particularly in my T-zone area, and then I'll sometimes put it on my forehead. Anything that's left over I'll put all over the rest of my face, but I focus it mainly in my T-zone. The only thing you do have to be careful with this is use smoothing motions versus like circular motions. You want to work it into the skin, but you don't want to let it dry and then work it into the skin again. Like, it'll start to crumble on your skin. So, and it does say that on the bottle. It says smooth onto areas with visible pores. So you want to just smooth it over your face in like sweeping motions. That way this doesn't like collect on any parts of your face or get crumbly. Second primer is the NYX Hydra Touch primer. And I got this one this month, but I've been using it every single time I do my makeup. And it says here, it's infused with chamomile, green tea, and ginseng root extract to create the perfect canvas and give your skin a radiant boost. I personally don't like illuminating primers. I have oily skin. I don't want to enhance that. Thought it was going to be like an oily radiance, but this just really enhances your skin. It's not a silicone based primer. It doesn't feel like silicone, so it's not necessarily a primer I would use if I need my makeup to last all day. This is just something I like to use because I do get red, and I also just love the feeling of this primer. I put on moisturizer and then primer, but this just feels like an extra layer of moisturizer when I put it on, and it smells really good. And I love the packaging of this product too, like this squeezy tube with this applicator. It's just so easy to just squeeze onto the back of my hand, and I don't have to deal with any mess or anything. All right, next onto lips. This is just like a little random thing that I bought for my lips, but this is the Carmex Classic Lip Balm. And I bought the 3-pack of these just to keep around my house, in my purse, in my car. So next for brows, this is the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the color Espresso. And so it has this type of spoolie and this applicator. And this was definitely another favorite of mine. I purchased this month, but ever since I've started using it, my brow game has been so on point. It's amazing. The only thing I will say is the color is a little bit misleading because Espresso you would assume is a dark brown, and this is kind of like a warm based brown, but I actually really like it on my brows. I don't have it on my brows today, but I like this on my brows because it makes my brows a little bit lighter and it makes them look a little bit less harsh. So I'm just going ahead. This is the swatch of it, but as you can see, it's like a very like brown. The e.l.f. eyebrow pencil, I love the formula of it, but the color sometimes can be a little bit too gray. And I would find that my eyebrows looked a little bit too harsh on my skin. But with this lighter brow pencil, it definitely helps me get more of like a hair-like effect. Versus using just a dark pencil, it makes my brows look very harsh. And I really like the formula of this as well. I think I might just like this one a little bit more than the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer. But I definitely think that once I'm out of this, I'll pick up another one. It was only like 10 bucks. And I got this one at Ulta. Next for concealer, this is the Maybelline Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Treatment Concealer in the color Fair. And as you can see, I'm almost done with this. I purchased this in January and I have just used this up. I love this concealer. I like the packaging of this concealer. I like this little part. You can see how much concealer you've used. I think it looks cool. The only thing I will say is that the applicator does get messy just because the twisty part, I've sometimes twisted on accident and like concealer will come out. As you guys can see how it is on the top. But I love the formula of this concealer. I just might like this more than my Urban Decay concealer in terms of coverage. It covers a lot. The only thing I will say is that the fair color does have kind of like a pinkish undertone, which for myself works, but I would prefer a more yellow based concealer. So I'm not sure if this is the lightest one. I think so. I got this at Walmart. Next, on to contour and highlight. This is the NYX Cream Highlight and Contour Palette in the color Light. As you can see, I've already hit pan. I have only used the contour color in this palette. The concealer color and the highlights are not my favorite. I sometimes will use this to conceal underneath my contour just to make everything look a little bit more crisp, but it is a very thick consistency. The cream contour color is perfect for anyone who has fair skin. You tend to stay away from cream contouring just because I always found that it was a little bit too dark or orange for my skin. And they never had anything that was light enough for my skin, and it was just really hard to blend out cream contours. So I always stuck to powder, but ever since finding this, I definitely think that this is going to be my go-to from now on for cream contouring. I've already hit pan on it. It's such a good product. I can't get over it. The more I use it, the more I love it. The brown, I'm going to go ahead and so this is the brown color. As you can see, it's a very gray based brown. So it's perfect for my skin tone. And the formula of this, it is waxy. But as you can see, as I'm blending this out, it does blend out very well. It doesn't look like chunky or patchy at all. So I will just layer this e.l.f. foundation brush, carve out the areas where I want to contour, and then blend that out with my beauty sponge. And I love this product. It blends away enough so that you look like you have a contour, but it's not like a giant brown streak across your face. And it melts really good into the skin. I set it with my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm good with my contour. And I love it for my nose. Yeah, I love this cream contour. The reason I went to Ulta was to pick up the Carly Bible palette. She had announced about like a couple months ago that this year was going to be the last year that they were selling this palette. So once they're gone, they're gone. So I figured I would pick one up. And I definitely think I'm going to pick up another one, actually. I want to go again to my local Ulta. I'm so mad at this. I dipped my finger into here and I like cut out a huge piece of that highlight shade, but I definitely think I'm going to pick up another one. I have been using this palette almost every time I've put on my makeup, and I really like this palette. And they're just so buttery and they're really easy to blend. I would use a packing brush with these shimmers if you're trying to get a really nice shimmer out of it. If you use a fluffy brush with these shimmers, the formula of these is so buttery that it's just not going to blend out well. So I would suggest using a packing brush with these. And when I first saw this palette and I swatched it, I really didn't like the matte formula. They definitely swatch better on the eyelid than the hand. They're very powdery texture, but they blend really well together. They're not the best matte eyeshadow formula that I've ever tried, but they're really pigmented and they do blend out really well. So I like all of this, especially this one. This I've been using to just set my eyelid space, so from my lash line to my brow bone. And this matte color is just perfect. It's very pigmented, it shows up on my skin, and I really like that. I also think that this palette is perfect for travel. The case itself is really cute. It's magnetic, it's lightweight, and it also comes with the highlights too. And the highlights are beautiful. Like I love the formula of these highlights. I just wish there was a lighter highlight shade. The formula of the highlights is very comparable to the Mary Luminizer in the same sense that they're both very, this is my Mary Luminizer, they're both very finely milled and very pigmented. She was definitely thinking about the everyday woman, especially with the mirror. This is perfect for travel. I love the shades. I could use this palette every single day. It's perfect. And yeah, so definitely a favorite. Be sure to pick it up, honestly. It was only like $15. They have a coupon going on at Ulta. I think it's like $3.50 off of a purchase of like 15 or something. So you can get this and something else and get $3.50 off of it. And it's a really good palette. I'm definitely going to pick up another one. Mascara I've been loving is the L'Oreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara. I mentioned this in my favorites video that this is a really good mascara, and I actually purchased it at Ulta because I finally found the black one and I love it. It's so good. This is definitely my favorite mascara. I like this better than the Better Than Sex mascara because this wand is perfect for holding on to small lashes and lashes that grow downward. The Better Than Sex mascara applicator is too big and my eyelashes grow downward and I have small eyes. So it was really hard for me to get the most length and volume out of my lashes. But with this, it's thin enough so that way I can grab every single lash and just really lift it. For lashes, I have the LOreal with Nicole Guerrero in the style Casually Glamorous. They're the wispy. Now, I don't actually have the lashes. I lost the lashes. And I've just come to the conclusion, honestly, that I'm not a lash person. I have tried with lashes. I have. Like, they're just way too hard to deal with. I definitely think for like a special occasion, I'm just not going to wear them every day or every time I do my makeup. They're just so uncomfortable. And I really don't have the patience for them. My style is so pretty and the lashes feel really sturdy, so putting glue on them was really easy. And another favorite was the lash glue that came in this. This lash glue is so good. It's better than the Duo lash glue. I put this on the lash and it does say to wait 20 to 30 seconds, which you do have to wait that long or else the glue is not going to set. So once it's set, you stick it on and it's on. It doesn't bother you or anything like that, but you do have to wait at least 20 seconds in order for it to stick to your lash line. The Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter Powder in the color Golden Lights. It's so pretty. It's the perfect pale gold highlight for light skin. I love this. I have very fair skin, so gold highlights were really not my thing. I would lean more towards like pink toned highlights, white tone highlights, like pearly highlights. But this one is the only gold, pale gold highlight that is actually light enough for my skin. And it's just so beautiful. The pigmentation is beautiful and it feels very buttery. That's just so pretty. So definitely pick this up. It was only $6 and I got it at Ulta. Alright, and on to the misses for this month. One of them, which I purchased, but it's not what I'm returning. This is just something I bought in January, and I bought it at Walgreens, and I couldn't really return it at that point, so I have to hold on to it. But it's the Wet n Wild Mega Last Liquid Catsuit Matte Lipstick, and this one is in the color Coral Corruption. Their lipsticks are always a miss with me. This is what it looks like. This is the applicator. And if you guys can just see how chunky that comes out, like this applicator, it just goops up at the top. I do like that this is transparent, but I don't know if you guys can tell, like the applicator is so big. So like people with small lips, I have fairly small lips. People with small lips, you know, like it's kind of too big. And it just gets everywhere. The formula is terrible. I layered this. I did one layer. It came out patchy. And then I layered it again and it started to crumble once it dried. So you really can't layer this lipstick. You're gonna have to like probably dip with a lip brush and kind of like go piece by piece, go little by little. But like who wants to do that? Like look, I swatched it once and the color is there. But as you can see, like it comes out a little bit patchy right here. And then the more I layer it, it just gets thicker. I don't know if you guys can see like how thick it looks. And it doesn't feel good on the lips at all. Like I would have to wipe this off before I ate or else like it would just get crumbly. My mouth would look like a butthole. It was just so bad. I hate this liquid lipstick. Next, onto the stuff that I am returning to Ulta. This is the NYX Total Control Drop Foundation in the color Light Ivory, ECDF04. And I know this has been all over YouTube. Everyone's been raving about it. I really don't like this foundation at all, actually. First off, first issue I have with it is the display. I got this at Ulta because, again, the buy one get one 50% off at Ulta. And the display, half the bottles were gone. The tester bottles were gone. So how am I supposed to check out my shade? And then there was a million shades that looked the same. Like, for example, the light shades, like, they all look the same in the bottle. Like, you literally have to test them. And it's like, not every drugstore is going to have that opportunity. Like, it's not going to have that. They're not going to have those testers so you can test. If it, like, Target doesn't do that. They don't put out testers like that so you can see if that's your shade. You're gonna have to do that on your own, and that's kind of gross. So, like, you know, why would they make the shades all look the same? And then I do like the dropper. This is what the foundation looks like itself. It's a really watery foundation. I'm not sure if it's because I'm used to my Marc Jacobs foundation, which is like a foundation concentrate. But when I think drop foundation, I think of a lot of coverage because, you know, it's just a concentrated foundation because you are getting, you know, less product. A standard foundation is 1 fluid ounce. You're getting 0.43 fluid ounces. So a little bit less than half of that. And then, you know, you would think that it says drop foundation, it would be really concentrated, but the coverage is about the same as the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. The formula of this feels the same as the True Match Lumi, maybe just a little bit thinner, but it feels very watery. This is a pink-based foundation, which I'm not sure if you have to, like, go and Google the undertones of the foundations, but I wish they would put the undertone of the foundation. They put that on their Instagram, but, like, after the fact that I got this. So I really like to focus on my skin mainly when I do my makeup, so foundations for me, I'm really picky about them, and this foundation didn't really wow me at all. It's okay. It didn't make me any oily or anything. It was sweat proof, didn't really budge, so it is a good foundation if you're someone who likes light coverage and you're just wanting to put on a foundation that will set on its own, and you can just go. This is a good foundation for that, but for myself, I wasn't really wowed enough to keep this. And then the Makeup Revolution London Flawless Ultra Eyeshadows palette. And it looks like this. And I did get the highlight from Makeup Revolution, so I really love that highlight, and so I thought maybe I would try the same brand in another product, and the majority of the stuff that was in that section was gone. So I figured, you know, it must have a good reputation with consumers. But this is the eyeshadow palette, and this is the little film that it comes over with all of the names, and this is the palette itself. The palette itself looks very promising, but the pigmentation of these shadows is definitely not there. This is just one swipe of that, and it looks pretty, but when you put it on the eye, it barely shows up. Like, I had to layer and layer and layer on eyeshadow in order for it to even show up on my eye. And it kind of didn't blend that well. They didn't really blend well together. They just kind of came off patchy. And it was just really not a good eyeshadow palette. And lastly, this is the Makeup Revolution Salvation Intense Lip Lacquer in the color Nothing Like Anything. And I mean, this is kind of my fault that I don't like this because I read the packaging completely wrong. I thought it was because by the looks of it, it looks like a liquid lipstick, and I guess I read the wrong sticker on the little display thing. So I was under the impression that it was matte, and then when I came home and swatched it, it was glossy. And that's, you know, it says on the packaging that it says that it's intense color, high shine, and a long-lasting gloss. So it's kind of my bad. I'm not a huge fan of lip glosses. I prefer matte lipsticks, but I have been leaning more towards lip glosses ever since I got my CoverGirl lip gloss, but this is the applicator. I do like the applicator. I like the packaging of it. This is the color itself. And as you can see, it's a very good formula. It is very intense color, has intense shine. And in terms of long-lasting gloss, it's not, you know, like it'll last you 5 or 6 hours because, you know, you're going to eat and stuff like that. But it'll last you a couple of hours and it'll still look good. And the reason why I don't like this lipstick, it wasn't the pigmentation or the formula of it or how it came off on my lips so much, as it was just that it made my lips really chapped and it actually made them peel. And I always have lip balm on me. I always have like Carmex on, Vaseline on my lips. Like I never have dry lips. And this just gave me the driest lips. And it says right here, discontinue use if rash, redness, or itching occurs. And it really, like, it made my lips so dry. It gave me like that dry feeling to my lips. It made my lips really red. I had like bumps. I'm not sure if it was the formula of this or what. One of the main ingredients is mineral oil, so maybe that's it. I'm not sure, but I just don't think this lip gloss agreed with me. But I think, you know, to each their own. So if you guys want to try it out, because the pigmentation and the gloss is there, I just think this formula disagreed with me. But yeah, this is another thing I am returning. All right, and so that is the end of my January and February hits and misses. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.